Game Week 6 preview. We are back. No 12:30 kickoff on Saturday, which means we've got a little bit more time to set our lineups. We got till the 3 o'clock kickoffs, and we'll jump into the first one, which is Crystal Palace at home against Fulham. Crystal Palace clean sheet percentage 39%, Fulham 23%. And what a start to a season Edouard has had for Crystal Palace. 3 goals in his last 2 games, 4 goals for the season already. What a pickup he's been. But it is off an XG of 2.6, so it should be warned. There may be a little drop-off in form, but what a start to the season he has had. And the person that was trying to take his number 9 spot last season, Mateta, has also broken into the starting lineup. Those two are mixing very well. 3 assists in the last 2 for Mateta. Fulham have conceded the 4th most goals already this season, but it should be noted 2 clean sheets in those 5 games already. But they also have the 4th worst XG, which is why the clean sheet percentage for Palace at home, 39%. Maybe looking at getting in some of your Palace defenders. Chris Jones could be a good shout, as Mark Guehi looks like he's still going to be injured for this game. The next game that I'm going to talk about is Luton at home against Wolves. Luton with a clean sheet percentage of 25%, Wolves 33%. Now that is purely because Wolves have been so poor in attack so far this season. But surprisingly, they've actually been alright so far. Chan, which is the man that I'm recommending to pick up for this week and also for this game. And Neto have really pulled this side through. Neto with already 4 assists, which is the most in the league this season. I want to see more from Cunha. He's got an XG of 2.0, but only 1 goal so far. And I personally have picked him up in a couple leagues. Luton, everything revolves around their main man. Morris is an XG of 1.5. And the next highest is 0.5. But he's got 1 goal and 1 assist already this season. So maybe someone to look at getting in, but Luton at the moment, they've had a pretty poor start, bottom of the league. Don't see it. Well, this could be the one actually where they get maybe a draw. The next game, Manchester City versus Nottingham Forest, 57% clean sheet percentage for Manchester City. Forest 6% chance. Manchester City have been absolutely rampant this season, picking up right where they left off. Already 5 games, 5 wins. Wins in the midweek game in the Champions League as well, when it looked like they were struggling a bit 1-0 down. But, I mean, it's Manchester City. They just make all these subs and they're absolutely fine again. I expect Akanji and Guardiola to come back in from the midweek game. They had a nice rest there. So I'd look, if you've got them, definitely, I mean, if you've got any of these City players, definitely start them just in case they start. And if not, if they come off on the bench, you are looking good. Jeremy Doku didn't start the game, but what an explosive winger. He looks like he's going to be an absolute pickup for whoever has him in your league. Alvarez as well, someone I want to talk about. 2 goals, 3 assists already in the league. Got 2 goals midweek. He looks like he's really stepping up this season. He's already won pretty much everything in football by his young age, and it's just ridiculous. Forest, all I've got in my notes is Forest, good luck. I wouldn't start any Forest players. Maybe Awani, maybe. But that's probably about it. I wouldn't really go near any of the others. The next game to talk about, Brentford at home against Everton. 40% chance of a clean sheet for Brentford, 20% for Everton. You know what I'm big on. Brentford at home, clean sheets. Aaron Hickey is the man to get in. Rico Henry is looking like he's going to be out for the rest of the season with his injury. So Hickey, I'm expecting to be a bit more aggressive on the right-hand side, getting up. We need to see who is going to be in the new back line for Brentford with Rico Henry out for the rest of the season. But whoever it is, I'd probably look at getting them in the near future. They could go to a 5 at the back actually, but I wouldn't think so at home against Everton. But in the future, it could be something definitely to look at. Everton, should be noted, Jack Harrison is back in training with them. Could be starting very soon. I probably wouldn't get him in for this game, but definitely someone to look out for. He's a very, very good creative player. Did very well at a struggling Leeds team in a fantasy sense. So I would look to get him in. The next player to get in, the next teams to look at are Burnley versus Manchester United. Burnley clean sheet percentage 17%. Manchester United 33%. What a horror show Manchester United has been after the international break. But I'm going to try and look at the positives. They did manage 3 goals against Bayern Munich in midweek, even if they did lose. Bruno Fernandes really stepped up in that game. He's sort of gone missing, I think, a little bit this season so far. I've expected more from him, and he looked like he was back to his old self midweek. Burnley has been pretty hard for them. Lyle Foster has been the man up top for them, and he is out for this game, so I don't see anything really going in the way of Burnley. I think this is a good game for Manchester United to come back. Look at the silver lining. Højlund scored as well midweek. A good goal, I think. A nice just finish into the bottom corner is what he needed. And I can see them getting a win here away at Burnley and just really starting their season from now. The next game, the North London derby. 32% chance of a clean sheet for Arsenal and Spurs only 14%. Now, all I've got down here is start attackers, not defenders, and I think this could be one for the ages, mainly due to how Spurs set up. I think with how Spurs set up, Ange will know, especially away, that all he can do is probably go all-out attack and just try and get at this Arsenal defence as much as possible, leaving up a lot of space in his own defence. But I think it could be a 3-3 shootout, something along those lines. High-scoring game is what I'm expecting. I'm not expecting clean sheets for either of these teams. So I would look to start your attacking players. Something that should be noted, Fabio Vieira started last week. Kai Havertz owners like myself absolutely pooing the pants at the thought of this happening, and it has happened. But Kai Havertz did start midweek. He didn't do anything in the game, even though Arsenal came out victors. I'd expect Fabio Vieira potentially to start this game as well, as he got a rest midweek and looks like that he could be taking over that starting spot in the league, at least for Arsenal. But this is the time where Kai Havertz can stand up, really take his spot back in this team. Right, the next game, Brighton, who I'm recording this on a Thursday. They're playing midweek. They are back, well, they're not back in Europe. They're debuting in Europe. So it's going to be interesting to see how they fare with the midweek and if that affects them. They are at home against Bournemouth. I think that's a very good game for them. Someone that I want to talk about is Ansu Fati. If he doesn't start this midweek game, I'd look maybe to start him at the weekend because I think he could then get a lot of minutes for Brighton starting the game against Bournemouth. Playing, no offence to Bournemouth, a lesser opponent. I have put down Bournemouth. I really do like what they've done with their squad in summer. They just need someone to help Solanke with the goals. Now, they obviously have Sinistero now from Leeds has come in. I think he's a very good signing. Kluivert looks like he's setting in well. They've got a lot of creative talent in there. I think don't jump on any of them yet. I don't think we need to. But I wouldn't be surprised if in 2-3 weeks I'm really bigging up some of these creative threats for Bournemouth. But at least for this game, I'd probably sit most of their assets, bar Solanke. Brighton, jump straight in with absolutely everybody. The next game, Chelsea at home against Aston Villa. Clean sheet percentage chance for Chelsea 32%, Aston Villa 18%. Aston Villa, which is weird, is the one with the midweek fixture in this one. Chelsea, no midweek fixture. And I think they need that. It'll do them the world of good. They have an XG of 10.2 so far this season and only 5 goals. The most underperforming XG team. That's why I've gone for Emi Martinez. I think there will be a lot of shots and a lot of chances created from Chelsea as they do that. But their finishing has just been absolutely horrific. But someone I want to talk about is Raheem Sterling. I've put down sleeper. I think we all know the class and ilk of Raheem Sterling over the years. But I think with this Chelsea team majorly underperforming, I think he's someone that you could definitely trade for and get for the cheap. Buy him cheap. Send someone a sort of half-decent player that's in form, midfielder, and you may just be able to get Raheem Sterling if someone's getting fed up of seeing him in their team and not performing to the level they expect. But we'll see how Villa do. They've obviously got the midweek game. They've got rotation. Zaniolo looks like he could be starting for Villa in the Premier League as well. And Villa went back to a back four. It should also be noted with Konza and Pau Torres starting as centre-backs. Luka Dean was the left-back, Matty Cash, of course, on the right. So, Luka Dean, Alex Moreno is back as well, so it should be an interesting left-back battle to see which one of those takes the spot going forward. So, look out for that. The next game is Liverpool versus West Ham. So many Sunday games in this. I've put James Ward-Prowse there purely because West Ham seem to have been thriving in these games where they can sit back, suck up the pressure. James Ward-Prowse obviously has any chance of scoring in any game with a set-piece ability. He has anything within 35 yards is pretty much a penalty for this man. But Liverpool, I think, have been slowly improving this season. They're going to have Konate back. They're going to have Virgil van Dijk back. They're going to be at home. I think it's very, very good. Obviously, both these teams are playing Thursday night. So I don't really see that affecting either of them that much. No Trent Alexander-Arnold for Liverpool. But we'll see if West Ham can do another one. 20% possession, somehow smash and grab. But I would look at starting your Liverpool assets really in this game. And on to the final game of the game week, Sheffield United versus Newcastle. Sheffield United 19th in the league for expected goals, 19th in the league for expected goals against. It's not been a good start from the underlying stats point of view for Sheffield United, bearing in mind that they have played 5 games, not 4. So I wouldn't go anywhere near the Sheffield United players if I'm being honest. Newcastle, I think it's going to be interesting. They've obviously had their first time back in Champions League for a while. So I'm expecting some changes, and that's why I've got Harvey Barnes. I think Harvey Barnes could get some minutes, potentially start in this game. I think it's a good week for him. Callum Wilson as well, noted. I called it that he was going to start getting more minutes last week, and he started, and I think he'll start again. Isak obviously playing midweek and starting up top, but that's what I'd expect. I'd expect pretty much the same team from Sheffield United and Newcastle going forward. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, give it a like, guys. Give me a comment on any of the games that you think I've got right or wrong, or players I've missed out. And hit subscribe. I do a preview video of every single game like this one, every game week. And I also do top 5 players to get in. Cheers, guys. Win your game weeks.